something we should put on our agenda for our reorganizations.
Right, well, the reason why I ask is if it doesn't work out well, then it just automatically expires.
It does,
correct?
that's right.
Right.
Otherwise, we would put it back on for reorganization, make what changes, or decide not to move forward with it.
I have a couple of reservations on it, but let's let it go and see what happens this year. But it would have to we would have to renew it.
We would, and we should pay attention to that. Jay's gonna mark it for our reorganization agenda, and that's the best time to really do that.
Okay. That's all I have.
Can I ask you what some of your reservations are in regards to it?
I don't like that we only appoint at certain times. I'm okay with people who are on committees have to be able to put their application in by November 15th, I think it was, right, Jay?
I think that's
I'm okay with that. I just don't like the idea that we only appoint certain times of the year.
And I'm totally in agreement with you on that. But I think the reason we went along with it is we did say if the council decides that it's necessary or needed to do it other
It's in
times, you
place for
can.
1 year, let's see what happens, let's work with it, because when we get to the end of this year, let's see what
Right.
kind of craziness happens, because this one
Okay.
didn't put theirs in, and we don't have anybody, and I've just seen this process for the last 3 years, and it doesn't go that smooth.
Right.
But if this makes it smoother, that would be great.
All right, great. Thank you, Rich. Jay?
No problem.
Okay, you're good. All right, Kathy?
No questions, I'm good.
And Dave?
And I'm good too.
Okay. Everybody's good? So,
I'll make a motion.
yeah, go ahead. I was going to say, I don't hear
I'll
any.
make a motion to approve R 2014-70, R 2014-71, and R 2014-73 through 77.
Second.
Okay. So we're good. Roll call.
Mr. Cole,
Yes.
Mr. Phelan,
Yes.
Mr. Vanderhoff,
Yes.
Ms. Winterfield,
Yes.
Mayor Florence Lynch.
Yes. All right, next would be items for discussion. I don't think we have any items to discuss tonight. It'll be another fast meeting.
Records here.
Reports and notices, there are none attached for tonight, so we're going to skip right to the manager's report.
Okay.
Yeah,
EP announced grants for Passaic River Basin totaling $3 million for 36 local governments. Pequannock received funding for both grant applications submitted totaling $400,000. Joint application with Lincoln Park for the East Ditch Beaverbrook received $150,000 in funding, and a continuation of Ramapo Pequannock Wanacue project received $250,000 in funding. These applications were submitted jointly with Lincoln Park and with Palm Lakes and Riverdale, also with support of Morris County. And on the back of the sheet that I provided is a list of all of the grants. I just want to point out that the percentage of funding of the grant amount against the project estimate for not only us but for all the Morris County towns is substantially higher than some of the other communities, and that really is due to the guidance in the grant material that was provided. They really wanted to see county involvement for whatever reason, and Morris County stepped up and not only coordinated, their freeholders passed resolutions, and I think that's in no small part a reason for the high percentage level of funding that was received by Morris County towns. So.
I was happy when I saw that. It seemed like we had our fair share there.
And not only that, we along with our neighboring communities established a rapport with DEP in getting the work done over the last 2 years in the $300,000 grant that they provided 2 years ago. So a lot of good things coming out of that. The process of obtaining permits is already underway. DEP indicated the permit process would be expedited for these projects. Township has been investigating alternatives to reduce our costs for street lighting. Initially, we were focused on new technologies, but Jersey Central Power and Light currently has no programs to change out municipal street lighting with more efficient lighting methods. We've asked and we've asked and we've asked. They won't do it. However, we did find within their tariff rates, which are set by BPU, a different billing method which has the potential to save us some significant dollars. There are several different tariff rates for streetlights, actually Peter has really been the impetus on this. We've been working on it for the better part of the last 6 to 8 months, and over the next week or two I will be providing you with additional information and looking for some authorization to move forward to change our billing method. Basically, all of the fixtures now are considered company-owned or Jersey Central-owned. There is a rate called a contribution rate, where in effect we are buying the street lights from Jersey Central so that they no longer own them, and we are only paying a rate for maintenance, which is substantially less than the rate to lease them,
So
per se.
how
So
do we
the-
get ourselves into such a mess?
I know.
Sorry.
Well, I think a lot of the towns were doing it that way, weren't they?
This is, you know, their tariff is, you know, like 200 pages,
Yeah, it's confusing.
and it took someone like Peter, who had nothing better to do for a couple weekends, to sit down and comb through it and say, well, that doesn't make sense.
Right.
So,
Well, it doesn't make
and we've
sense.
been, you know, we've had several meetings with Jersey Central. We sat down with them. It actually took them a while to figure out what their own rate means. So,
We're not gonna tell anybody this secret, none of the other towns.
well, we might, you know, console for
For a fee.
for a fee. But the savings is substantial.
Substantial.
It's in the
To take it on.
the 30 to 40,000 per year range. So more information coming on that in the next 2 weeks, and it will be a discussion item coming up because we'll need some direction in terms of how
Now,
to
when you
make that
say
work.
investigating alternatives, the township might take it over? Or,
No.
all right. it would
Actually,
just be not,
nothing else
just the
changes.
billing.
It's only
Okay.
the billing.
all right.
Everything else stays
Okay.
exactly the same.
Got it.
Which is part of the reason it's taken us this long, because we wanted someone from Jersey Central to say that this is the correct rate
Okay.
and nothing else changes.
Got it.
And last week on Friday, we got them to say that, so
Okay, great. That's interesting.
progress. The resident meeting for sewers has been scheduled and advertised for this Thursday at 7:30 PM right here. Work on West Franklin, Frank's not even here. Work on West Franklin will begin next week, and that really starts in the first week. You're gonna see our mobile sign up there indicating that construction is gonna begin, utility markouts, and markouts of the areas of disturbance where the sidewalk's going and so forth. So over the next few weeks, you will see movement there, and construction will begin, you know, very shortly. Bids for boulevard sidewalks will be open tomorrow, and we are scheduled to introduce our municipal budget on March 25th with no tax increases.
Great. Okay, thank you. All right, next, we'll go to council reports and announcements. Rich?
I guess this is a question for Dave and our attorney. The First Aid Squad wants to hold their wet down in Greenview Park. Have you heard about that?
I was emailed a whole series of questions today that
Well, one of the
I read
big
through and
questions-
haven't had a chance to digest or respond to.
Okay, well, the biggest question is, you know what the biggest question is?
That's going to be up to you.
Council, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so the council would be looking to give a one-day pass on. Okay. They're looking to have their wet down at Greenview Park because they don't have the room to have a proper wet down at their facility. And in order to do that, if anybody's been to a wet down, you know what goes on in a wet down. You know, you spray water and stuff like that.
And drink beverage.
And
And there's merriment.
Is it open to the public, or is it by ticket only, or how
Well,
does it work?
typically wet downs are open to the public.
However,
As part of the, they would need to obtain a special ABC license, a one-day ABC license. In the past, in the wet downs that I've been involved with, the special license application requires that you identify how you're going to ID people, how you're going to secure the area where beverages are
Just
going
like
to
we
be
talked about
served.
at TIFs.
Yes, and
Yeah,
they ended up not
remember
doing
we went
it.
to the-
Right.
Kathy, remember when we went to company number one's wet
Right.
down where they roped off and
Yeah.
only
Yes.
certain groups could go?
Same type of thing.
Same
Yeah.
thing, it would be the same thing.
Yeah.
It's a tradition with the first aid squad and fire companies.
Yeah, as long as
that
it's controlled and,
So we currently prohibit consumption of alcohol beverages
Unless we
in
give
the
them a
parks,
one-day pass.
right.
but it's within the purview of council to provide them with a
And of course, we support our First Aid Squad.
Well, we do that at casino night, right? We give them,
It's
Yeah.
basically the
Yeah.
same thing. It's
Yeah, as
just-
long as they get
Just
the
in a different-
permit and it's a
different
controlled
place.
environment and they ID
Mhm.
people, I don't see why we wouldn't. Okay.
We do support our First Aid Squad, right?
We do.
Absolutely.
Anything else, Rich?
That's it.
All right, Jay?
Nothing other than commend our manager and his staff for getting the grant. There was a lot of paperwork,
Great
a
job.
lot of hard work, but job well done. Thank you.
Okay. Kathy?
just one thing, the historic commission got together and they mostly talked about the Martinberry House, and they understand that council is looking for them to be able to sustain that if we were to acquire that. So they're working very hard on a presentation for the public. And Chris, do you know if there was a date set for the library? Because I didn't get anything.
We're currently looking at dates in 3 to 4 weeks.
Okay, so it hasn't
We
been
took
scheduled
the
yet.
photos on Friday.
Okay, yeah, I saw them, they're wonderful. Are we still looking for a Friday night, or we don't know?
Oh, we don't know, probably
We don't know,
Friday
okay.
night.
All right. And I don't know, was council contacted about going on a tour of that? What's so funny?
Not yet. I need, if council would provide me with some dates, is there availability this weekend?
Not me.
Well, I've seen it, I don't need to, I will
still
find out, yeah,
Just moving.
It could probably work, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, how about next weekend?
Worse.
probably better.
This weekend,
There's no urgency, I don't think, right
I
now.
have to look at my schedule.
Because I
There
believe
isn't.
the letter of intent went in, right,
Yes,
Dave?
that's
So
correct.
There's no urgency, and I think you might want to wait for, good weather. You don't want to
All
track mud through the poor lady's house.
I'm glad to hear that you're going to do some public sessions, because I think it's important to have the public involved.
Yeah. Chris went and he shot, what, how many photos? Over
204?
Yeah.
Great.
And you might, did you send the link to everybody, on council or not council?
Oh, we're culling them, we don't want to waste your time
Alright.
with the bad ones, so.
All right, because I mean, they're fabulous pictures that Chris took. Yeah, I mean, you'll be amazed at some of the features of that home.
But,
Yeah, go ahead, Chris.
But
Yeah,
if I
you
can.
can take my time. Go ahead.
yeah, I didn't want to steal your thunder. because-
Go ahead, steal it.
Facebook, the outside one?
Yes,
That's
yes.
beautiful.
So, Christopher Lotito for the Pequannock Historic District Commission. So on Friday, as Kathy mentioned, Jay Wanzik and Ed Engelbart and I went over to the Martinberry House, and we all took some photos and took a closer look at some of the damage from the water in the upstairs. And I have to say, it doesn't look like it's structural to my layman's eyes. I went up in the attic, didn't look too bad. So the process now is to continue on with the finding out the value of the house, and we're going to have some public sessions with these photos and presentation, and use that to gauge public interest of organizations in town that might be interested in working as stewards of the space. So, we'll go
So
from
that
there.
way we should know
Great.
where we stand pretty much at the same time an appraiser will come in, so we would know if we're moving forward or not.
Good.
Okay, thanks, Chris. Also, another thing, the teen advisory is definitely not moving forward. I would have to say, I've talked to the two adult advisors, and we're no further off than we were. I think that I have the same personal opinion I had before, is that just teens are just overscheduled as it is. And there's nowhere to squeeze in any other time. I am concerned that teens overall, not just of Pequannock, don't understand their civic duty or civic responsibility. So I don't know, sometime as a council, maybe that's something we'll take on in a different way to educate, maybe through the joint session with the Board of Ed. Maybe there's something where we can give talks and to the middle school and the high school. But I really, I don't know how we formally disband that, just let it die, whatever we do. Unless there's some parents in the audience would be interested in talking about the teen advisory. I mean, I don't like to be a quitter, but I'm pretty much exhausted on this one. So if anybody in the public, in the next couple weeks or month, we can
And
formally dissolve it, or if someone else is interested in picking it up.
Right, and I agree with you that, getting teens more involved in just their community and civic duty. As a matter of fact, if any of you council members are available, I am going to the PV middle school on Friday to address, I believe it's 6th graders in the history class.
Can I ask Could you let us know about these things ahead of time?
Yeah, a girl that I personally know had just reached out to me and asked if I'd come into her classroom. We set it up Monday, what's today, Tuesday? We set it up yesterday. So if you would like, Friday,
I would like to know what
yeah,
things there are going on.
okay.
Yeah, because I would definitely like any opportunity. I mean, with that short notice, I really can't take off of work, but I would love to be able to keep speaking to the teens because they're not getting that in school. They don't have civic classes. They don't understand voting. They don't get to vote. I mean, when I was in high school, they brought in voting booths and we got to vote for election days. They don't do any of that anymore. They don't understand that their number one civic duty is to even vote. They don't even know how to register or when elections are. And I don't know. I think that's part of our responsibility as role models, as elected officials, to make sure that that gets passed on to them in some venue.
Right, and
Right.
we are a group, we work as a group. As
Right.
elected officials.
Right.
What time on Friday?
It is, I believe it's
Could you email us,
1:30.
Phyllis?
I'll email you.
Okay.
Yeah, I happened to be out to dinner with the person, and then they said, oh, you come to the classroom, and I said, sure, but she had emailed me. We just put it together on Monday,
Yeah.
so.
I do have one question, though.
So if you like, yeah. No.
You had mentioned about the elevations and a tax credit, about that, and has the flood committee done anything with that to any of the Congress or Senate, or anybody to ask for any kind of federal tax credit for elevations?
Well, I know we've been, looking at funding for elevation. I don't know if the question of
I
tax
thought that was
credits came
that's a
up.
very
But that's
good
very-
point.
That is a very good
And I'm
point.
wondering, has that moved
Just to
forward?
clarify, I purposely went up during public comment. I was speaking
Right.
as a resident. I don't
Oh,
want to
yeah,
confuse
yeah,
the
no,
two.
no, no.
I was
Right.
talking as a resident.
But you have to
But-
get that into the
Yeah,
right
no,
person's.
I double researched it today. I'm a tax preparer. I double researched it today and,
But that information needs to go to Freeman-Heisen, things like that,
That's
people who.
And I
do
think
things.
that, and maybe with, you can bring that up at one of the public sessions that's going to be happening.
Well, I don't think you even have to wait for that. I think you should, the flood commission or even us could do
Yeah.
a resolution as requesting something like that.
Absolutely.
I think that's an excellent idea. I mean, they give it for buying hybrid cars and solar panels and refrigerators that are
That's
energy
right.
efficient.
That's right.
What saves them more FEMA dollars than
Solar
elevating your
panels
house?
every year.
And I know the flood
Every
committee is
year.
looking at a lot of those bills, but I don't think
Yeah.
there was anything
I
for the
think that's
tax
an
credits.
excellent idea. I mean, the IRS is on everybody's minds these days for many reasons, so I think that's a good idea to give them.
That's a dirty word right now.
I know. But I'll help you follow up on that if you want, because I think that's an excellent idea.
Anything else, Kat?
That's it.
All right, Dave?
Last night, open space met, we talked about a couple of different things, meeting possibly with Parks and Rec and the Environmental Commission to find out, so we all have an idea of what, we would like done with the property that we've been acquiring. I guess because, Environmental wanted to know, they were thinking about planting some stuff on some of the pieces of property, and Frank was pretty much against that, because he wants it to go back to a natural state. Not on every piece he was against it, but mostly, the property that is going to be part of the Riverwalk. We also talked about the trail marker signs, and that was about it that we talked about at open space. And Dave, if we can get that's police speed trailer, is it warm enough yet to bring that out? Maybe put it on Ackerson so we can see if we can do anything with that.
Good.
And that's it.
All right. I just have a couple things. The Flood Advisory Committee meets this Thursday, but with this Sewer Village project, they'll combine it with that, I'm sure. Update on the property tax reward program for those interested. We have 1,400 families registered, and our tax credits earned since the inception of the program, which was September 17th, is $18,000. It's projected through the end of the fiscal year, which is April 30th, to be at $22,000. But if you had, had a full year and started the program in May, the projection would be about $40,000 in tax savings. We're at 27 participants. I need to maybe work with Dave in finalizing the next phase of the rollout with regards to getting the rest of the cards out and getting more people registered in the program. As everyone knows by now, it looks like Stop and Shop is on target to open their doors to the public around the mid-May timeframe. So I know that, everyone is, I mean, we've been happy at their eagerness to work with the town, and they want to really be supportive of the community, so it's great. Environmental Commission meets tomorrow night at 7:30. Just some announcements. Sunday, April 5th, the township is holding their River Cleanup Day.
It was Saturday.
Oh, I always do that because I keep using the old one. April 5th, though, is the river cleanup. And I know letters went out, and anyone that's willing to volunteer, any individual or group, I know I mentioned it the other night at the Girl Scouts and Boy Scouts, you can always call the clerk's office for more information, or even Parks and Rec, I think, you can contact. Also, Cedar Crest, they're hosting a Memorial Day event called the Field of Honor. It's going to be open to the public. It's going to run for an entire week from Tuesday, May 20th through Tuesday, May 27th. They're going to have an opening ceremony on Tuesday, May 20th. Everyone can attend from the community. Each flag will be that's displayed will be sponsored by residents, staff, area businesses. So anyone that would like to purchase a flag, it's $40. It's a full, size flag that will be put in the ground up at Cedar Crest all around their campus. So,
And what happens to the flags afterwards? Sorry to ask, but I have to ask that question.
I believe they get to keep the flag. The person that buys, or what you're doing is buying a flag in memory of someone or sponsoring a flag for someone, and it's your flag to keep. At the end, you're purchasing the flag for $40.
Flying over the White House, and then you get to.
You get to keep it.
Well, my concern
Flying it over
is the flags
Cedar
that are
Crest.
left over.
Yeah. If anyone wants more information, you can contact Lauren Carenti up at Cedar Crest. She's the event chair for that. And that's all I know about it. I know they're putting a slide, Diane's putting a slide up for them on Channel 77, but I haven't seen it yet. Knights of Columbus is hosting a St. Patty's Day dinner dance this Saturday, March 15th from 7 to 11. Tickets are $30. You can still contact Pat and Chris Keaveney if you're interested in getting tickets, or reach out to me. Let's see what else. The Columbiettes are hosting one of their Potato Night fundraisers, and that's at the same hall on Friday, March 21st from 5:30 to 8. And you can contact Barbara Hill for more information on that, or see me if you need her number. And then last, I just wanted to say, as most of you know, the Army Corps of Engineers is going to be holding 3 public information meetings regarding the project analysis report for the Passaic River Basin. So if anyone needs those dates, one is March 25th from 7 to 9 in Fairfield. One is March 27th, 7 to 9 at the Pumpton Lakes High School. And the other one is April 3rd from 7 to 9 at the Lyndhurst Fire Department. And they'll go through what they've been doing with their analysis of the projects. And that's all I have.
I have a question, Melissa, on the Stop and Shop.
Mhm.
Are you in communication with them quite a bit about when they're opening? Or
A little bit, yeah, because there's one woman that's been reaching out to all the
are
volunteer
they
groups.
hiring? Are they going to be hiring? Are they going to give anybody in the
Advance
Pequannock or
notice.
anything, any kind of, are they going to have like a job fair or
Yes.
anything that we can advertise?
Yes, we asked Darlene about that, and they are going to give preference to veterans and disabled. There will be, most of the jobs that they'll be hiring for, they'll take a lot of the management personnel from other stores and move them. Most of the jobs are going to be the baggers, the checkers, deli counter, all that type of stuff.
Do you know about when
Shelf
they'll be
stockers.
advertising? for
No,
that?
but I would think it would be soon. I haven't heard
She
yet.
said
Has
the
anybody
end of
heard?
March. She said it would be.
So it should be
They would need 8 weeks.
about 8
They
weeks
need 8
before.
weeks before
Yeah,
the
because if we
opening.
can get that out to our residents. so
Yeah,
that they
we've been
know.
asking for the date, and we met with Arlene Pitterman, is that what? Right,
Pitterman, yes.
right, and so we'll get that date out and put it up on the website and on Channel 77
Yeah,
and
because
stuff.
it'd be nice if our residents could get a little bit of a jump on that.
Yeah,
And the manager is from Pequannock Township for the
Yeah.
Mr. Shop.
so that's
Mhm.
great. Yeah, they saw, they saw the the importance of having a really good store manager, and they actually took a store manager who's doing phenomenal out of one store, and he's actually a resident in this town, and we're all looking
That's a
forward
great
to having him.
location. I think that's a dynamite location.
Okay. All right, next item on the agenda is back to public comment. If anyone wishes to address the council, please wait to be recognized to come to the microphone and provide your name and address for the record. Anyone?
Anyone?
Rocco, again?
The Democratic way.
I didn't say that. That wasn't me making that remark, by the way. Yeah, Rocco Salucci, 153 Jacksonville Road. You went through the approval on the policy for the boards, but you didn't go through some of the points that you had into the policy. Is there any way at all that somebody could at least bring out the main points? That's number
Yeah.
one.
Okay.
I have another question concerning,
Give Rocco a copy of that.
Yeah, we can give you a copy of it, Rocco. Basically, what it's doing is just trying to formalize the process. We want to be
okay.
transparent. We want to put the
No,
minutes
I
up on the
understand that. I
website.
thought that you guys had a
Yep.
discussion last
We did.
meetings, and
We
I
did
don't know
not.
where you settled at in order to, bring the policy up to par.
Looks like Mr. Delaney's gonna
He's
get you
got
a
it.
copy.
There you go.
Thank you. Oh my God, he's quick, this guy. Just like my wife, when I go to the bathroom, she makes out the bed already. I had to get that in. I hope she doesn't listen.
I'm not sure how to take that.
That was a joke, by the way. You had approval, the last time you had approval of 16 million or so what dollars for the project that you had in the village area sewers. Am I correct, or my memory's starting to fail me? I think overall, I think you had a $16 million. But the approval that you have on the corporation is, utility corporation is 13.4 something. So the difference that you need is what, for engineering and other things?
Engineering, construction oversight, bonding, traffic control, because what some communities do is, especially when there's traffic control involved, is they put it on the contractor, and then the contractor has to hire
Okay,
our police officers.
Alright.
We keep that in-house, but it's still a cost of the project.
okay,
Yeah, bonding, cost of issuance, we're gonna have to sell bonds, go to the market, that's, 100,000 or more.
Okay.
So there's other costs than just the contract.
I like to hear those kind of things in here. I was at the Board of Education last night, and somebody made a comment that they're gonna pay you guys $100,000 for the sewer connection to one of the schools. That is true, correct?
Correct.
Okay, I think 115, 116 around that area. Okay, and of course I questioned them about the budget. They're coming in at 1.8 something.
We're coming in at 0.
I know, that I made a remark that the county hoping to come in at 0, and the town is keeping up on their par with the last 2 or 3 years, coming in at 0. I said the least that you could do, well, you have a population of the schools going down, but still the price is still going up. And they have 2 or 3 people that are retiring. I said, I hope you don't fill those positions, or at least you fill it from within inside. But I don't know whether it's going to happen or not, but when you have money, you can spend, especially if it's not your own. Thank you. I'm sorry that I made that remark, but thank you.
Thanks,
I need some
Rocco.
money, you got some money on you?
Absolutely. How much you need?
No, I'm kidding.
Well, Rocco, the key question to ask him is how much is it to educate per pupil?
They have that information.
That's the key question, the
But they won't
comparison
have
to
it in
other
public.
towns.
They will not. The last I heard the analysis the last that I heard the analysis on it,
Double of what we pay.
it was the closest calculation that I had was between $12,000 and $14,000 per student.
Well, that's a big difference between 12 and 14.
That's from pre-kindergarten or kindergarten that they start full-day kindergarten all the way out to the graduations of high school.
That's the number to keep measuring.
Thereabout. Yeah, that's the number that they're pushing. I said pretty soon it's going to cost as much as a college, which is already going out.
It's already more than college.
So I begged them at least to try to try to do the same thing they would do in town. It says, have some responsibility. Said, look around and see that not everybody's like you guys, millionaires, I said to them. I said, they are the people that they hurt.
It's already more than State College.
Okay, but that's basically where we had, so they didn't like me very much after I finished to make a couple comments last night,
I'm so surprised.
But
Keep up the good work.
I'm a big boy, thank you.
Thanks, Rocco.
Listen, Asbury Park is over 20.
Anyone else want to come up?
Not so bad,
No, that's it?
no, over 20,000.
All right,
Compare
I
it
guess-
against college.
Yeah. Do you want to come up, Louise?
250 kids, Louis, 250
Okay.
kids, they don't even make the minimum required, 63 or less in the average.
Okay, we're done with the public comment. I guess next on the agenda is closed session, but I don't know that we have anything for closed session? No? Okay, we're good? All right. We have no minutes to approve either, correct?
That's correct.
All right. And we have motion to adjourn, second. All right, that's it. Roll call. You have to do roll call?
Mr. Cole, Mr. Phelan, Mr. Vanderhoff, Ms. Winterfield,
Yes.
Mayor Florence Lynch.
Yes.
27 kids that can't even get a 63 average. That's disgraceful.
In where, in the whole school
The
system?
whole school system.
Let me see you.
And we have to supply tutoring,
What's happening at the library? You're gonna have
some of them 2
display
or
of
3
pictures.
times tutoring to make up for the inefficiency that they have. So that kids can move on.